Am I live? Okay. Oh, here we are. Finally. All right, you guys, what's up? I had so much fun yesterday going live, so I just kept thinking I gotta do this again. I just did a video on another channel. I did put up the link and everything, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. Did a review on a movie called Fighting with My Family. It's about the life of like the early career of Soraya, whatever. Pretty good movie. So check out the review if you'd like. And go ahead and subscribe to Daphne's channel while you guys are over there because I will be back to do more stuff in the future. So, what's going on tonight? I try to come on a little bit earlier, but I'm still trying to figure out how to navigate this whole thing. Yesterday, it took me a little bit to realize that I did not end the live. And all I did was like kind of leave the room, but I didn't end the stream. So that was a little bit awkward. I kept thinking that can anybody hear me struggling in the background or whatever? But obviously no one heard me or whatever. But I was able to get that done and over with. And since then, I've been like trying to watch little videos, trying to figure out like how to figure this whole thing out. Like it is not easy coming on social media and trying to figure out how to do all this stuff because some people does look easy for them, but everybody's had some time to, practice and figure out how to use all these applications, all these you know, websites, social media, whatever. And for me, I've always thought if I had Facebook, then I'm fine. But it's not what I anticipated. So, like me having a YouTube channel, that's my best outlet to reach out to other people. I don't mind the whole Facebook thing or whatever, or Instagram. Those things are kind of secondary to me. But if anybody want to reach out to me for whatever reason, Facebook or what's the other one? Instagram and even X or whatever we're calling it now, X, Twitter. I don't know. I use that too. Not too much, but I pretty much use everything for like wrestling related stuff. I mean, I do have other things going on, but wrestling is the one thing that I'm like super interested in. All right, we got two people in the comments. Hey, Robert, what's up? I am actually liking the whole going live thing. Now, yesterday I actually ended up doing a review on Collision anyway because I'm so used to of doing that. Like that's so part of my routine that I ended up doing it. And I think it's okay too because like some people may not want to watch a watch along and sit through 2 hours. They just want like a quick recap on what's going on. So I totally get it. Hey Harry, what's up? Yeah, so I mean, we had a really great week of wrestling this week. Actually kind of feel like just going to shows more often. I was thinking about earlier going to WrestleMania next year. I've been to WrestleMania one time before and I really enjoyed myself. It's a pretty cool experience. Like if you've never gotten a chance to do it, definitely try it out. I'm pretty sure all the really good seats are taken by now since the ticket's been on sale for months. But I know that I wanted to have like a big experience like that. Now I don't know if they still do the whole WrestleMania access thing that they used to do. That's what they used to do when I last went to WrestleMania. I'm not sure if that's a thing anymore, but that would be pretty interesting because I really did enjoy that type of experience and meeting with the wrestlers or whatnot. Usually, when it comes to these things, I'm not gonna lie. If you want to participate to the whole oh, I went to WrestleMania 28. That was in Miami. It was a pretty good one. I really did enjoy that. Oh, they don't do access anymore? Man, that was so fun. Um, they had the whole museum thing where you can actually see like all the wrestlers' gear and all that stuff. And that was the part that I really liked because you actually got a chance to take pictures and look at things that they've actually worn, things that's been like on their segments or promos or whatever. So I really did like that. And I remember when I went there, they were giving like tattoo, like these little fake tattoo things or whatever. And one of the options was a tattoo of the Undertaker symbol. And I was like, oh, let me get that. And then so I got an airbrush and I was like, you know what? This sucks. I don't want an airbrush. I want the real thing. And then I went to go get the real thing. So I had got it done like on my birthday or something like that. And yeah, definitely don't regret it. But like every time somebody sees my arm, they're like, "Oh, is that the Undertaker tattoo?" I'm sure that's not, and I'm like, "It is." I think people are surprised to see a girl having some type of tattoo like that. Really, I don't find it surprising, but I've never actually seen another woman with wrestling related tattoos. Oh, you went to WrestleMania 2, 10, and 20. Wow. So I don't have like well, I have a lot of autographs. Usually when I go to shows and I'm gonna get autographs, I go with like magazines and stuff. Very rarely I have posters with me. Sometimes the posters are just too big to walk around with. The only poster I could really think of that I've gotten signed is a poster of Christian. He signed a poster for me, and that was the last time I ever took a poster with me because the ones that I have are just too big. But other than that, usually what I would do is I would like get magazines together and with their pictures, and then I will just save those pictures in the magazine and they're sign it for me. So like right now, what I'm doing is like in my dining room, I want to have nothing but wrestling posters and stuff. And since I have a lot of autographs, I was gonna take those out the magazines and frame all the autographs that I have. So I have a lot of those, but it'll take some time to actually get that stuff done. Um, I want to say Christian signed it maybe 2013, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but it was probably like 10 years ago for sure. And I still have that poster, but usually if I'm gonna get autographs, I just come with something small, or I might come with my own like 8 by 10 or something like that. But usually they may have their own stuff for you to sign, so I don't really make it a big deal. Um, I have to look for this one, but I went so way before NXT was NXT. There was FCW, and I went to an FCW event and I went to get Chris Hero's autograph. This dude, instead of giving me an autograph, he just drew a picture. And I was just like, oh, okay, I'll wait for you to finish. And it was interesting. I have to look for it because I haven't seen it in a couple of years. But it's with all the other autographs that I have. Let me see. Hold on. So yesterday I was kind of struggling to get to everybody comments. Like I'm not even gonna lie, I'm as blind as a bat, and my monitor is like across the room from me, and I thought I was gonna be able to see everybody's their comments or whatnot. So I didn't get a chance to read everybody's comment, but I did get to read the one that I could actually see. Let me see. Have I ever met any wrestlers? Yeah, I've met plenty of wrestlers. I've actually gotten a chance to meet my top three, which is The Undertaker, Christian, and Brian Danielson. Um, those are those are three guys that are in my top five favorites. I've met a lot of WWE guys. I also I would like to meet some more AEW guys, but not all the times do they have like meet and greets before they show. So you'll like it's a hit and miss type of situation when it comes to AEW. But I've met a lot of more WWE guys and legends as well. One that I've met often, Jimmy Hart, Sergeant Slaughter. Who else have I met in terms of? Legends. I gotta think about that. But if I look through my autographs, I'll end up remembering because I actually have a memory card that is, since I just moved like 2 months ago, I have a memory card that has all the pictures of all the wrestlers that I've met and took pictures with. And I'm still going through my boxes looking for that memory card because I use an iPhone now, so you don't use memory cards anymore. But I'm looking for that so I can post those pictures. Oh, another one that I've met is Brian Cage, and he was so much smaller. Like I gotta find the picture because he looks so much smaller than he is right now. And when I saw this picture, I was like, wait a minute, why he looks so tiny over here? It was absolutely strange to see him so small. Let's see. Oh, Brooklyn in the house. I'm actually from Brooklyn too. That's where I was born. My biggest wrestling crush, absolutely The Undertaker. Everyone who knows me knows I'm obsessed with The Undertaker. Um, I mean, I think about this dude every day. I have action figures, teddy bears, like you can see behind me. I have some here too. I actually got some ones that came in the mail. I haven't got a chance to open them, but they're still in packages. So I should have about 70 Taker action figures right now. So I haven't got a chance to open these, but those are the ones that just came. Posters, blankets, socks, everything. If he's on it, I have to have it because I love him so much. He's like my everything. And really, me loving him so much is what got me into professional wrestling. Just me always trying to see him every week made me want to see, other things that was going on with wrestling too. And ever since then, I've just been so into it. I love it so much. Do I think AEW has too many stars? Um, I would say they have too many people on the roster. I don't see everybody on there as a star at this point. Unfortunately, it seems like Tony is still signing people when he should be focusing on building everybody that he has right now. And unfortunately, he's making, I think, a bad decision when it comes to putting more people on the roster. It's just too much going on, and you're not even able to make bigger stars out of the people you have on your roster. Why sign anybody else? The newest person that he got signed was Mariah May. It's a good signing, but definitely if they're not going to use her right, like how they're not doing so well with the rest of the women's division, then there's no point of signing her on. Who is my top five? My top five. Oh God. Okay, so if it's like top five favorites, like I already said, my three, which is obviously Undertaker, Christian, um, Brian Danielson. I love them in terms of character. Not so much Brian. Brian doesn't necessarily has a character, but what he does in the ring is absolutely damn near flawless. I love his wrestling style. My favorite wrestling style is the technical style. There's something about it that I just absolutely love. Not everyone that comes in a ring can do stuff like that. So I like seeing that. Nowadays. Bret Hart is another one that I enjoy as well in terms of his in ring work. I'm trying to think of another person for my top five. Um, I don't know. I'll come back on onto that one. Well, okay, so what inspired me to do the YouTube thing? So I did the YouTube thing like many, many, many years ago. I don't know, maybe like 12 years ago. I had a partner during that time that I was doing the channel with. Things went super bad with that. So I stopped with the whole YouTube thing. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really have a clear direction onto why I was doing it. I guess it was just for fun. So a couple of years ago, there was the Dark Side of the Ring episode with Brian Pillman, and that was already like the third season, I think. And I already saw the other two seasons, but I literally had no one to talk to about what was going on. And no one that I actually know that are close to me watch wrestling. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get on the camera and do this review and post it on YouTube. And ever since then, I've been doing reviews. But in terms of me reviewing the shows on a weekly basis, that actually started in January of this year because I had a New Year's resolution thinking I want to find something that I'm going to be consistent with. And I know a lot of us, we procrastinate about things. We just kind of, we know what we want to do, but we don't actually go for it. So this was like the first step of me finding something that I really love to do and being consistent with. So that's why I started taking the whole YouTube thing a little bit more seriously. I know some people, they want to come on here and be famous. That's okay. But for me, it's not necessarily fame. I'm just looking to reach out with other people who have the same interests as me and just have fun with it. So I've been an Undertaker fan. I was 7 years old the first time I seen him. So I'm 32. So you guys go ahead and do the math. I'm not that great at math. So that's a long time, right? Um, does my sister watch AEW? No, she's never ever seen AEW. I would not mind doing like a review with her or watch it live with her just to see what she thinks about it. It's all up to her if that's something she wants to do. How would I book Jade Cargill in WWE? Would you build her up slowly or throw her right in the fire? Honestly, I've been surprised to see that they've, incorporated her in some ways onto the show. I thought what they was going to do was spend some time with her at the performance center, which I do believe she actually needs. In terms of character, personality, and all that stuff, man, she got that down pack. But when it comes to her being in the ring, I feel like she really does need some help. Personally, I would have her spend some time at the performance center. I think she needs to work on that and find what's her style. Um, a couple of months ago, Brian Danielson had an interview where he was talking about Jade and what he thought about her, and he recommended that she go to Japan. And I think that would have been a really cool opportunity for her. But obviously, she's with WWE right now, so there's just no way that she's going to be going over there. I think that would have really, really helped her out. But I would not have thrown her in so early. I would have kept her in the performance center and probably incorporate her somehow in WrestleMania if she's ready by then. I think she probably would be ready by then, at least start a storyline with somebody. I definitely would not put her in a storyline with Bianca so soon. I know a lot of people want to see that, but you got to let things cook a little bit to get people really interested. So definitely would not put her in so soon. You said your wrestling crushes are Naomi and Ember Moon. Yeah, they're pretty. I love Athena. She is so awesome, man. If you guys have not been watching Ring of Honor, you guys are missing out. She's doing her best stuff that she's done in her career so far. It's really great to see how much she's progressed. I know a lot of people probably did not enjoy her um, in WWE, but I do believe that she changed a lot, like her in-ring work and personality. She's changed. So if you're looking for something different in terms of how her career is going, definitely check it out. If I was to book the ministry for Undertaker, who would you put in stable? You mean like as in right now? Well, back then I thought everybody worked in terms of everybody that was in the ministry. What I did not like though was the whole corporate ministry thing. I don't know why they even took it that route. I felt like that was the last thing that they needed. What ruined that whole thing was Vince McMahon. Um, the issue with Vince McMahon is obviously he had a great thing when it comes to his roster, the show, everything was so popular back in 1999. However, I think he found that maybe he can insert himself in these storylines. When he had a storyline with Austin, I think that was the most organic thing that he's ever done. And the villain boss with Stone Cold Steve Austin, everybody could relate to something like that. But when it came to him being the higher power, I think that was one of the dumbest things they could have ever done in terms of ruining a storyline. It just felt like, oh, okay, you're just trying to incorporate yourself into something that was already fine. And I don't think it really worked. From there, things went pretty bad. Okay. When Taker lost the streak, I remember that moment so vividly. I couldn't even believe it. You know, we're so used to him winning every single time he's at WrestleMania. So I'm not gonna lie, I kind of was not paying attention too much to the match because I was like, he's gonna win. Why should I even really watch this? And during that time, I was having like a watch party at home with several people, and real talk, we really wasn't really watching it like that. We was like, all right, Taker's gonna win. Do we really need to watch this? And then out of the blue, the bell rung, and I looked back and I was like, I don't hear anything. Where's Taker's music? I was so shocked. I did not watch the rest of that pay-per-view. um, I was crushed, absolutely heartbroken. I didn't really see the reason why, to be honest. As far as they have made it, there's no reason why at that point for it to be done. And I felt like at that point of Brock's career, did he really need that win? I don't think so. And I'm not saying that to be biased. I really don't think, in terms of what Brock had going on after that, that was so significant for them to do. I didn't like that at all. I don't look bad for 32. Yeah, you know, it's so funny. I think this is stupid, but I think like 2 years ago, I went to a casino and they were like, you need your ID. And I was like, do I look like I need to have an ID to come up in here? I get it all the time. People think that, you know, that I'm probably not even 21. And I don't even think I look that young, to be honest with you. Do I watch other YouTube channels? That's a what, wrestling related? Yeah. So I watch Straight Up Wrestling Show. They're in the comments too. Harry and Chris, they do watch alongs as well with WWE and AEW and you know PLE's pay-per-views and stuff. I enjoy them a lot. They're super entertaining. And another thing that I love about them that are different from other YouTube channels is that they've been around during the old school days, during the territory days, and they can, you know, vividly remember those type of experiences. And that's what I like, you know, to hear people talking about wrestling in a different light compared to other YouTube channels. Most YouTube channels now, they just talk about what's going on currently. But like, if you really want to learn about what's you know went on in the 80s and 70s, like these guys, they know what they're talking about. So you'll definitely learn a lot. I'll be honest, but I don't watch the really big wrestling YouTube channels. I don't like necessarily the ones that like what culture wrestling. I only like when Simon does the ups and downs. That one I do like, but I don't necessarily care for the wrestling news because a lot of YouTube channels, all they want to do is be the first one to report a rumor without fact checking what happened or if it's true or not. And really, I don't like that. I don't want to just hear rumors. Like I want to hear some kind of truth to it. And some of these people, they just don't. But I don't listen to too many. Oh, another one that I listen to literally every single day is Dutch Mantel. I love him too. He's another one. He's had so much experience in the pro wrestling world, doing all types of stuff, and he has like a unique perspective too. Like when it comes to old school wrestling, he's not always right with everything that he says. I don't always agree, but his take on pro wrestling is just different from other people. But I listen to him every day. Like literally before I came on here was listening to him. He's super cool. World of Geek Dom. Okay, I'll check that out and see. You said if anything, Batista or Edge should have been the one to break the streak. You know what they should have done was I don't know if it would have worked out that exact year, but Roman Reigns, They obviously had big plans for him. Someone who was really up and coming, someone who was going to have a little bit of a longevity in your career, should have been the one to take the win. So, although I would not have liked it, someone like Roman Reigns should have been the one to have done it for sure. Yeah, Dutch is absolutely hilarious. He's someone that I kind of thought that maybe AEW would reach out to him in terms of working with them at some capacity, but I just don't know why they would not reach out to someone like Dutch, who's been all over the wrestling world. He got the experience, and that's what AEW need is people with experience. They do have, legends back there. I just feel like ultimately Tony Khan is not taking people's advice in terms of making the business much better. Yes, thank you, Harry. I do appreciate you guys' support as well. You said no matter what anybody says, if they were going to end the streak, they should have let John Cena ended it. If they let Cena ended it, it would have been way before that year, though. The year that Brock ended it. So I don't know. Like when it comes to professional wrestling, I really think timing is absolutely important. Even if Cena were to be the one, it has to have been done at the right time. So that would have been before 21 and 1 for sure. I don't know if that would have really worked out though. But didn't they also, because you said they offered the streak to Edge, he refused. Wasn't another one Kurt Angle? Didn't they offer for Kurt Angle to also beat Taker at WrestleMania and he said no? I think Kurt Angle was another one too. Thoughts on Ali and Dolph getting released? I really felt Dolph. I was shocked. Dolph had been there for almost 20 years. I felt like the way they let him go, um, it just I don't know. I don't like the way they let him go. They should have let him ended things off on his own and then let him go, not necessarily release the rest of them. Ali, I was not expecting as well because he was supposed to go against Dominic at the pay per view like that next weekend. So nobody saw that one coming. They were able to, obviously put someone else on the card with Dominic, but I did not see that coming at all. And plus, Ali, if they moved with him the right direction, he could have been somebody. I started feeling like things was not so great for him. Right before he got released, he had that match with Gunther, and I was just like, oh, I don't know where they're going with him. And unfortunately, they let him go. I can see him going probably to TNA. I would not recommend anyone else to go to what you call it, AEW. They just don't need it right now. But WWE, they can, call him back up and say, hey, we can use you for something. The same thing that happened with Nia Jax. Nia, she obviously was released, but she called Hunter and asked for an opportunity, and he said, come on down. And, you never know if they might take you back. All you got to do is ask. You never know what they're going to say. So Ali, he's someone that may come back. I can see him coming back, but I was really surprised about him and Dolph. Dolph, I was surprised at the way that they did it. Like you don't stay in somebody's company for that long and they just let you go like that. It's something that didn't sit right with me with that. Another thing that I hear a lot is a lot of people did not like Taker being, the American badass. They just didn't like that. For me personally, I enjoyed it. I feel like this is the closest that you're going to get to Mark Calloway. And for some people, they just didn't like it. And I get it because it's such a big difference from, the Taker that we have seen for like the first 10 years. And then he completely changed himself. So I understand why some people didn't gravitate towards that. Right. So like, with the whole John Cena thing being the one to do the streak, it would really have to have fit at a better year. And I think it was a little bit past those times when it came to Cena. And Randy Orton too was someone else that could have done it as well. Batista, I don't know about Batista. I think I would have definitely gave that opportunity to Randy Orton over Batista. If not, then Edge is another really great choice. Hold on, you guys. I'm looking at the comments. Right. I think today was the anniversary of Eddie Guerrero's passing. I have to check that, but I do believe that it was today. Honestly, he's somebody that I really missed in the ring. The way his character was, he was a funny dude, but he was also a really great wrestler. It's unfortunate how he ended up passing. A lot of wrestlers are dealing with a lot of demons, and unfortunately, he just gone way too soon. Who would I like to see behind the devil mask? That's a really great question. I'm not sure who I would like to see. I kept thinking at first. So people have been saying the weirdest things. Everybody right now has been saying that it's Britt Baker. I don't see why it should be Britt Baker. Think about it this way: if it was her and they announced that it was her, what now? What are you gonna do with her now? What is she gonna do with a whole bunch of guys? Like she's not gonna be able to do anything. Yeah, she's with Adam Cole, but Adam Cole, he's going to be out for quite some time. I don't see him definitely being back this year. Um, Definitely, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. So it wouldn't make sense for it to be Britt Baker. I've seen people zooming in on the footage and trying to see who that person is built like. First of all, first things first, the person in the devil mask is not MJF. That person is way too small to be MJF. I've come down to the conclusion at this point after what we saw the other day on Dynamite, that the person in well, I'm not too okay. The person in Devil Mask, I'm not too sure, but it has to be these group of people. It has to be Roderick Strong, both members of the Kingdom, Kyle O'Reilly, and maybe Bobby Fish. I'm a little bit on the fence on that one because I know he didn't necessarily leave AEW on the best of terms, but that's the best that I can think of who this group would be. And if it is, I think that would be the best choice. I can't think of anyone else who would be good for that. If anybody's a leader of this group, I'm not gonna lie. I don't necessarily see it being Roderick because he's being like really annoying character right now, even though I find it hilarious. It would be a little bit strange to see that he's the leader of the group. So I don't know. Those are my pick in terms of who those people are. But the one in the mask might be Roderick for sure. I don't know if you guys caught it, but in a beginning promo of last Dynamite, he was saying something about everybody was gonna respect him or something like that. So I think that was him in terms of who's under the mask. You said, of course not. Jeff Jarrett never drew a dime. Personally, I'm not a fan of Jeff either. I've been really questioning what was the point of him being in AEW. I heard that he was the one who helped put in all in together and whatnot. That's great, but like, what are you doing every week? Like, he's being part of that group with Sanjay and Jay Lethal. They don't really add anything to the show to me. And then all of a sudden, he brought in Karen with him too, and she doesn't add anything to it at all. And I'll tell you guys, I'm always usually on the side of the heels, and in terms of heels, they do nothing for me at all. So I don't like it. Yeah, and Randy Orton, he's been out for God, I forgot how long exactly. And they were saying how the doctors are not recommending him to get back in the ring, but he wants that. I can understand why he would want that. He's used to it and he's, damn good at what he does. But I do think that sometimes it's a little selfish of the fans to want them to get back in the ring when they're not really ready to get back. I'm pretty sure he's looking and hoping for doctors that's going to help get him clear so that he can get back into the ring. I don't know if he's going to find anyone to get him cleared. You know, a lot of people has had really big injuries. I know another one right now, Big E. Like his situation was devastating to me. You know, a young guy being put in that type of situation and that type of injury, it's absolutely scary. You know, he could have literally been paralyzed with an injury like that. And it's so unfortunate. And he's so entertaining. I had expected so much big things from him. And unfortunately, that hasn't happened. Will he ever get cleared? I am not sure. But we've seen a lot of people come out from big injuries, you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin being one of them. Edge being another one, Saraya being another one. I never thought I'd see her in the ring. Brian Danielson, another one. So it really depends. Like some people, there's just no turning back when it comes to a major injury like that. Oh, thank you so much for the compliment. I really appreciate that. Oh my God. If CM Punk's in Devil Mask, I'll be cool with it. If Jack Perry, no. That would okay, because obviously right before Jack, got let go, we saw him as a heel for a little bit, just for a little while, and I don't think he was able to draw as much heat as they wanted him to. I was kind of hoping they would amp up his character a bit, but for whatever reason, it just not worked. I do believe when it comes to wrestling, some people could do their whole career as either just a heel or just a baby face. And I kind of see Jack Perry as one of those people who probably should have never, um, gone to the dark side. But we'll see. In terms of him being the one in Devil Mask, um, if they play things right with that character, he would be. This would be a good thing for him. However, I don't think we've seen enough of Jack Perry to kind of take him seriously in being the one in the Devil Mask because he would be the leader out of all those guys that we saw, jumping the Acclaim the other day. And I don't really see him in that leadership role. So it's hard to believe that it would be Jack. I would prefer CM Punk. I know a lot of people are not feeling CM Punk, but I'll tell you what, Phil Brooks is all right with me. I am totally fine. If he were to be in AEW though, this third chance that would be will definitely be his last. I honestly was kind of disappointed with what happened with that whole thing with CM Punk. He drew a lot for AEW. When it comes to merch and people, especially in Chicago, going to United Center, they were selling out. People wanted to see CM Punk, so he was someone that the company could rely on in terms of getting these numbers up, in terms of viewership and things like that. And it's unfortunate how things ended. I kind of find it strange how Tony Khan was saying how he feared for his life. And I'm like, okay, bro, what happened that you feared for your life? And let's be real, like throughout wrestling history, wrestlers they get into it backstage all the time. So whatever happened is nothing new. However, this was like a new situation for Tony Khan, and maybe he didn't know how to handle the situation. So if his life was in danger, I have no idea. If your life was in danger, why did you not press charges on CM Punk? If it was that bad, I kind of think maybe he was exaggerating a little bit with that word, but who knows? I don't know. Cody will likely win the Royal Rumble. Oh my God. So this Royal Rumble that just passed, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you guys remember, but they only showed 25 of the guys that was gonna be in the Rumble, and then there was like five other people. But you already knew Cody was gonna be one of them. So only four of them you didn't know who was gonna be on there. I absolutely hate when somebody comes in at number 30 and win. Oh, I cannot stand that. I prefer when somebody wins to be like somewhere in the middle or somewhat one of the first 10 to come in. I find that to be better storytelling when it goes that way. With everything that was going on with the bloodline, I would not have mind seeing Sami Zayn had winning the Rumble this year. Unfortunately, that went to Cody. And the whole storyline with Roman and Sami Zayn was really hot. And I was like, as a wrestling company, you got to look at it this way. Sometimes you make a decision months in advance, weeks in advance, whatever it is, but you got to also pay attention to everybody in the room. What are the fans looking to see? I think people were more into seeing that saga with Roman and Sammy go to another level. I know we probably would not have had the elimination chamber match at that pay per view when it came to Sammy and Roman. We might not have had that. They probably could have did some kind of tag team thing. I don't know, whatever situation is. And that was a really great moment for Sammy being in Montreal. It was really cool. However, I would have definitely had it be Sami Zayn to had won this year, go against Roman at Mania. I think it would have made more sense. Definitely would have preferred that to be the case. But as for next year, if Roman win, I mean not Roman, Cody, if he wins the Royal Rumble, I don't know how that would work because it seems like this story that they've been trying to finish for quite some time is never going to get finished. Like they need to have something really concrete in terms of a plan for him, and I just feel like they don't have a real direction with Cody. I do think at some point we're gonna see Cody and Roman again. But as far as him running the Rumble, I don't know if that's a good idea. Honestly, I'm not sure who is next in line in terms of who's gonna take the title off of Roman. I just don't see it right now. You have to be building these stars while someone else is holding the title. Romans have had it for well over 1,000 days. That's enough time to have build someone else to come next in line. I kind of thought about it being Seth. I don't know if that would be the best idea, but in terms of right now, I'm not sure we have a clear picture in terms of who would be the right person to take the title off of Roman. Oh, you said you are the best. Thank you. Ryback just said Punk is coming back to WWE. That's all I've been seeing all weekend on social media. Everybody's talking about CM Punk and everything. They're looking for the littlest, tiniest signs to show that CM Punk would be back. Personally, I don't know if I see it. I don't know. Wherever CM Punk goes, I would definitely watch, and I know a lot of people would be interested to see how he does at another company. If he were to go to TNA, I think that would have been cool too. I don't know. That would definitely help them in terms of viewership and merchandise, money, whatever situation is, because TNA, they actually do need that. They're doing pretty great. They're just not having enough people to see what it is that they do. Um, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But next year they do plan on making changes. Obviously, changing from Impact to TNA, and they got plans to make things bigger and better for themselves. So if CM Punk would have been on board with that whole new thing, that new direction that they're moving on to, that would have been an excellent person for them to sign. As long as there's no backstage issues or anything like that, I know Impact would definitely want to jump to signing him. I don't know if they got the money to put up for CM Punk, but who knows? But with him in WWE, that would be really interesting. Even though I love CM Punk, I'll be honest. Some of his matches wasn't all that since he's returned the first time. So I'm not sure how well he would do with some of these guys in WWE in terms of in ring work. So we would have to see how that goes. Oh, you're watching from Toronto. Thanks for watching. Hey, Wrestling Lowdown Show. What's up? Yes, guys, please like this video. I would really appreciate that. Oh, yes. LA Knight is someone that I can see winning the Rumble. Um, a lot of people really do like him. I like him too. He definitely has a lot to work on, I think, but his presence is definitely felt, and the fans are enjoying him. If he won the Royal Rumble, I'll be cool with that. See how he does against Roman at WrestleMania. That would be really interesting. That would be the biggest match of his career. whether if he wins or lose, that would be a big thing for him. So that would be really cool to see how that would do for his career. Rhea Ripley, I really enjoy her in the ring. I love her look. We could go shopping and buy the same things. I love what she wears. Um, so when it comes to her, and when her and Dominic got really popular, I didn't like the fact that they were using the whole China, Eddie Guerrero thing to kind of help boost their popularity or whatnot. Personally, I do believe it's best when you're just be yourself. But that actually did help them a lot because I don't know if Dominic would have been able to get over as a heel without having that storyline, without having things going on between him and his father. So that really did help, and that also helped Rhea as well. I really do enjoy her in the ring. I love her character. She just have this really strong presence about her that I feel like we don't see in a lot of these other girls, so that's what I appreciate about Rhea. Oh my God. Do you think Dominic and Rhea cheated on their real life girlfriend and boyfriend? No. I heard that rumor too the other day. Rhea really seems to have a really great relationship with Buddy. So I don't know. Shoot, if I was with Buddy, I wouldn't cheat on him either. Like he seems like a really cool, down to earth guy. I can't really see it. Isn't Dominic married? I don't know if he has a I don't know if it's a girlfriend or if he's married. I think he might be married. I don't think Rhea, I know she got engaged with Buddy like a couple of months ago, like somewhat during the summer. So yeah, they're pretty lucky to have each other. It needs to be either The Rock or Gunther to win the Royal Rumble, not LA Knight or Cody Rhodes. Wow, that would be great to see Gunther win. But I don't think it would do Gunther any favors for him to win that. If he still has the IC title, but he's going against Roman at WrestleMania, man, he either has to win or Roman has to put him over in a way where, despite him losing, he looks fantastic. So I don't know if that will do favors for Gunther because WWE, they got a awesome roster, but if they don't book this right, it can go wrong. So honestly, I'm not really sure if WWE would be able to do the right thing when it comes to Gunther in a situation with Roman Reigns. So I would love to see him win, though. He's been absolutely fantastic. So I do enjoy him. Also, Dominic has a fiance. They're not married. I thought they were married. Okay. How many Undertaker figures do I have? I should be like right around 70 in terms of the figures. I actually have my eye on a couple of other figures that I like to buy. So I like to shop on eBay because eBay, they have like rarer stuff, and everything else I could just find like at Walmart or Target or whatever for the more newer stuff. But if you like collecting anything, eBay is your best friend. And I know a lot of people say that they probably have like a issue with using eBay. They're not sure if it's like legit. I've been using eBay for like 10 years. Almost, I would say like 70% of the things I have in my collection is from eBay, and I've never had an issue with eBay at all, not one time. Usually you got to look out for sellers with a great reputation. It's easy to really look at that type of stuff. You just got to spend time playing around with the app, and then whatever you're looking for, just make sure that the seller has great reviews and no, little to no negative reviews, because not everybody's going to always feel satisfied. But YouTube is the not YouTube. I meant eBay is the best place when it comes to looking for stuff for your collection. So like especially with sports, like if you like other sports too, you're looking over there, they'll be great. Let's see here. Yeah, so yeah, I have a lot of Undertaker figures. Like I just showed, like I just got some in the mail. They're just still wrapped in bubble tape or whatever you call them. So I got to open those up too. I don't really have much of my stuff on display. I only have a couple of things here. Let me just show you guys. Like, just like little teddy bears and stuff that nothing too uh special. Like if he's on it, like I have to buy it. Like there's something about him that is just so amazing. Like look at how cute. And look, and it still has the tag on it. Like I like when stuff still have the tag on it too, because I don't know, it just makes me feel a little bit special when it still have that stuff on there. And this teddy bear too, oh my god, it is so cute. And it still has a tag. So you see Taker on it. And it says on the back, Lord of Darkness. Oh my gosh, I love him so much. But this one has to be my favorite because he has the orange hair, and it's like a little bit on the rare side to see like figures and teddy bears with him with the orange hair. So when I seen it, I knew I had to have it. You guys can still see me? Hold on. I know my camera kind of blurred out a little bit. But yeah. Oh, and I also have. I think I've shown you guys this one before too. Man, I got this one at a really great price, and this is so cute. I love it so much. And it's kind of heavy. It might not look like it, but it is heavy. Um, this one I don't remember what it's called, but it's a statue. I have another statue too, and this one's another one that I like. It's actually I never really opened this before. Hold on. I don't know if you guys gonna see it well because I've never opened it. But it's a voodoo doll. It is so cute. This is my actual first time opening this. Man, I've had this one for a really long time, but I've never opened it. It's my first time opening it. It's so small there, but it's a voodoo doll and it's so cute. Um, yeah, and I have, like I said, I just moved about 2 months ago, so most of my stuff is still in a box, and I haven't been able to open those things yet because I need to buy like more shelves and stuff to put them away. So I haven't got a chance to do that, but pretty soon I'll be able to put all my stuff away. Like it just feels so weird not having my stuff out. So like whatever he's on, I always buy it. Like this is another one that I bought. It's a coffin. And inside the coffin, it's like a mini replica title. I don't even know if they sell this like at a regular size, but man, when I saw this, I was like, oh, I have to have this. I love the whole coffin casing. I think it's so cute, and this shit is really heavy. I do want to buy another one. There's actually another one with another replica title, but it's a urn instead of um a coffin. I actually do have the 21 and O urn too. It's in a box, but it's kind of wrapped with plastic, so I can't open that right now. Whatever he's on, I gotta have it, you know. But I'll show you guys some more stuff since most of my stuff are put away. I can show you guys some more stuff another time. Let me look back at these comments real quick. So, okay, Robert, you said they can have him vacate the IC title after winning the Royal Rumble. So, normally I would kind of not mind this, but with me being so upset with how AEW made Samoa Joe vacate the Ring of Honor title, now I'm just like, I don't know if I'm cool with this idea anymore about vacating the title. There has to be a certain type of way to get it done. They could have faked the injury with Samoa Joe to make him vacate the title. That would be great because the prestige of the title would not go anywhere if he were to be injured. So same thing, like with the IC title, I really do think Gunther made people put some respect on the IC title name, you know, since he's had it, he's really been really awesome. I love that rugged look that he has. And I think that he's brought a lot of prestige to the title. So if he were to drop it after Rumble, it would have to be a type of faking some type of injury thing for him to drop it. But he will still have to be ready to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, which is not too long after that. WWE would have to play their cards right with that one if they did that. Do you feel AEW has an identity crisis? I feel like AEW has this identity. I think it has this identity. I think the issue is that they're looking at the success of WWE and thinking that they can replicate that in a short amount of time. WWE been around for about 70 years. There's no way you can replicate that in 5 years. You know, if you're looking at another company, I don't want to say that they're looking at them as inspiration, but I guess you can say that. You can't really look at what they've done in 70 years and think, oh, well, I can do that too in 5 years. There's no way. Tony Khan, if he looks at his company as, um, something new, an alternative, not necessarily in competition to WWE. I think they could have done much better. Those first few years of AEW, I think a lot of people really enjoyed. And now we're at the point where it seems like Tony is trying to, I feel like he's trying to do a little bit too much, especially in terms with having Ring of Honor 2. Maybe he bit off a little bit more he can chew with having that promotion as well. But when it comes to the storylines, that's another thing that's lacking. I don't think the stories are as original as it could be. We want to see some different things. We don't want to see the same thing. You guys remember, I think like 2 weeks ago when Swerve broke into Hangman's house, everybody was like, well, we've seen this a million times when it comes to pro wrestling. And that is true. Because they probably could have gone another way with this to make it a fresh idea, something that we have not seen in wrestling. And unfortunately, they just didn't go with that. So a lot of times, because WWE has been around for so long, whenever AEW does something, the very first thing that they look at is, oh, well, WWE did this already, and they could be a lot more creative with some of these stories and these angles and these segments that they're doing. But I do think that they have their identity, but if they keep trying to compete with WWE instead of competing with themselves, that's going to cause an identity crisis for sure. Hey, Marcus, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Do I have the WWF Aggression CD? No, I do not. But my favorite song on there is Method Man and The Rock, Know Your Role. Oh my God. I actually was listening to that earlier today. That was a really awesome CD. Really great stuff. Hey, Black Star, what's up? Yes, I have met The Undertaker. I had met him last year. So it's so funny because he was actually going to be what's it called? I forgot the name of the convention, but it was going to be in Orlando. When I found out about that, because I was like 3 hours away from Orlando, so I was like, oh shit, it's like 3 hours away. But then, you guys, guess what? My car broke down and I had to fix it that same weekend. So I was like, damn, there's no way I can go. And I was boohoo crying because I was living in the middle of nowhere and there was just no way for me to go over there unless I would have found someone who I can pay to take me over there or whatever. But no one was available. So then I found out he was going to be in Dallas the next month. And I said, you know what? Say no more. I'm going to go purchase my ticket. And I purchased a ticket. People think it was a little pricey, but $275 I thought was pretty low to meet the Undertaker. So I had no problem paying that. And then I just got my flight over there, flight hotel or whatever. And it was the first convention I've ever been to, seeing all these people dressing up in costumes. When I tell you, there was thousands of people, and I bet you half of those people was dressed up as Spider-Man. I was like, what is the obsession with Spider-Man? Everybody up in here is dressed as Spider-Man. Kids, women, men. I don't know. I didn't never knew Spider-Man was so popular. But yeah, I met him that day. When I walked in there, when he saw me, you guys, I felt like I was meeting the love of my life for the first time. Well, it pretty much was that. Real talk, The Undertaker was my first crush. This was like my awakening to knowing, oh, okay, this is what the opposite sex is for. I like them. So he's the first person I've ever felt, something towards before. And so it did feel like I was meeting the love of my life for the first time. And when I was walking over to him, like I was kind of trembling because I was like, oh my God, like I dreamt of this moment for so freaking long. And when he saw me, he was like, oh, we matched. We look like we're on a date. And I was like, oh my God. Like I was marking out, you guys. Mark Calloway is just everything to me. So I was so happy. And when I was talking to him, the lady who was next to the person who was taking the picture, she was like, "Oh, we got other people in line. You got to go." And I told her, I said straight up, I said, "Ma'am, this man right here, I need to tell him how much I love him. Don't ruin it for me." And I just kept talking until I was done, and he let me talk, and I was so happy. And he saw my tattoo and everything, and he thought it was absolutely crazy but cool. Man, it was just like the perfect moment. And since then, I've been like watching to see where he's at. Like I saw he was doing his one man show, I think on Ohio last night, something like that. And a lot of people got a chance to take pictures with him and all that stuff. So I'm on a lookout to see where he's going to next, because I definitely want to go. But I'm gonna make a trip to Dallas next month to see the final battle pay per view and Collision the next night. So yeah, all my money went into that. Okay, let's see. So do you think Joe could be the leader of the whole double storyline? Joe would be the perfect person as the leader, but it doesn't look like it's been Joe that's been in that devil mask. Like whoever's been wearing the mask has to be the leader. So I think it might be too late to put Joe in that storyline. Like if we had been seeing this person looking like a bigger person, that's why I said earlier, like whoever's under the mask is definitely a smaller person. So it can't be MJF, definitely can't be Joe. So I'm not sure who would that be, but I did assume that it would be like um, the Roderick and the Kingdom, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. It got to be one of these people. Someone asked, would I sell them? I would absolutely never sell anything in my collection. That's never even crossed my mind. Like for no reason at all would I ever do that. I don't know. I do have a couple of like things in my collection where, well, it's not part of my collection. Like I have some other action figures and other things that are not Undertaker related because like I had to buy that as a package deal to get the stuff that I actually want. Maybe those stuff I would sell, but not anything with Taker on there. Okay, you said, so do you think Undertaker could be like a manager to Priest after all Priest has done to look at him? And I remember you trying to hit on him after he won Money in the Bank. Yeah, I love Damian Priest. I could definitely tell he's someone who he's a creature of the night too. He definitely idolizes Taker. Personally, I don't know if Taker can manage anyone. If you really look back at Taker's career, aside from after 2000, he never really did all the talking. Paul Bear would do most of the talking, and then when he was with Kane, it's when we really started to hear him doing more of the talking because obviously Kane is a freak and couldn't talk. So that's when we really started to get to hear a little bit more of him. I don't know how he would do as a manager, because Undertaker as a character is its own presence, and it might even overshadow Damian Priest. So I don't think that would probably be a good thing for him. AEW doesn't deserve you being a fan. Why is it you the only person who's a hardcore fan? That doesn't shield for the company. I really do feel like if you love something, you can still provide constructive criticism. I love AEW. If I were to sit down with Tony Khan, I'll let him know everything he's doing wrong, but I'll also let him know what he's doing right as well. I think that's a issue with AEW right now is that he got people working with him who are just saying yes to everything that he says rather than saying, "Oh no, Mr. Khan, I don't think that's a good idea." You have to have people on your team, and not just with wrestling, but in life. When you have your friends, your family, you want to surround yourself with the people who's going to be real with you, who's going to tell you that what you're doing is not a good idea and what you probably should do to make that better. And I don't know if anybody in AEW is really doing that. They're looking at Tony Khan as a friend because Tony Khan kind of comes off as a friend more than a boss. He needs people who's going to be straight up with him and say, what you're doing is not the right thing. And if I was working over there, I would let him know. I probably wouldn't be rude with it, but I'll just let him know, like, you got a company here, and you're appealing to other people other than yourself. The problem with Tony Khan is I feel like he's doing this fantasy booking thing where it's all about what he wants to see, and not necessarily what other people want to see. And also, some of the people on the roster, I could tell they have an upper hand with how they're being booked as well. So he's keeping some people happy by letting them kind of be the one to dictate how their career goes. But when it comes to in terms of the whole company, he needs help. Absolutely, he needs people who's going to tell him the truth. Didn't Joe do that completely on his own, not by force? As for Gunther, might as well go full-blown warrior with the IC title versus WWE title if that's the direction you're going under. I don't know about the whole Samoa Joe thing. I don't know if it was by force or not. They could have possibly given it to Keith Lee. And I know everybody was making a big deal about how bad it was, that it was also Keith Lee's birthday that day. Honestly, I don't really see what the problem would have been to give him the title. The only thing that might have ruined that is that Samoa Joe has his eyes out on the Triple B, so he wants to look his very best going in that direction. And they probably just didn't want him to drop the title for that reason. So they thought, he should just vacate it, and we're not going to even think anything about it. However, Ring of Honor is not in that position for y'all to be vacating titles. Y'all making it seem like these titles don't mean shit already. Almost everyone who was holding a Ring of Honor title recently are not in Ring of Honor. They're AEW guys who just want to walk around with some bling bling. And it's like, it doesn't make sense in terms of booking why people who will never be on the show should have these Ring of Honor titles. So I don't think long term it necessarily helps with this title. So next week we have Tony Khan, who's going to be on Ring of Honor, and he's going to be addressing the whole situation, and we'll see where it goes from there. I don't know what he's going to say. And as for Gunther, though, yeah, he can approach, Roman after winning the Royal Rumble with the IC title as well. Obviously, the WWE title would be up for grabs, not the IC2, because no one's going to want to see Roman with more titles at that point. But I would love to see Gunther with Roman, but I don't know how well that would really work out. There's a lot of things that you got to keep in mind here. Is you don't want someone like Gunther to, that whole thing that he got going on to die down by having someone like Roman Reigns taken down a couple of notches. So they would have to play their cards really right when it comes to that situation. I honestly see Gunther winning the World Heavyweight Championship at the pay-per-view in Germany because the brother Black Star said Punk could win and beat Rollins or Priest, and he lose to him. That would be interesting. I'm not sure about that. I would have to think about that. That could work out for Gunther, but I'm not really sure. Because like I said, like when it comes to booking, I would prefer to look at things a little bit more long term, and how that would work out, I'm not sure. Okay, Marcus. Okay, that's the reason why I haven't seen you for a while. Okay, got it. Okay, let's see. Hey, that guy, what's up? You said so. Blackstar said an idea. He said, "What if Punk shows up in WWE with the AEW Championship? Holy shit!" And WWE acknowledge it. Sami Zayn and WWE once years ago. Wow, that would be really, really interesting if they were to do something. Honestly, I would not be bringing over another promotion's title over unless there was some type of cross promotion thing going on, and I don't see that ever happening with AEW and WWE, at least not in the near future. That would be cool if they actually did have some type of cross promotion stuff in line for the fans, because I know a lot of people actually would love to see them, do something. But honestly, I don't think that it would really work out. WWE and AEW, they both are going to want to, have both of their own rosters looking as best as they possibly can. And sometimes it just doesn't work out when you're working with another company. And I know a lot of people have said the same thing with AEW and New Japan. Sometimes, sometimes I feel like I know it's on AEW's, like Forbidden Door or whatever show that AEW is doing. If they're on their show, then sure, I know AEW is going to want their stars to go over, and they won't put as much the New Japan stars over or whatnot. And same thing goes for New Japan when they have AEW stars over there. It's like 50-50. New Japan, they're happy to work with anybody, especially getting that US exposure. So I really do enjoy them. They actually had a show on Friday. I really, really wanted to check that out, but I didn't get a chance to. Did anybody check out the DDT pay-per-view with Chris Jericho and Takeshita? So I did not see it, but I was shocked to see that Chris Jericho won. I was like, what are we doing here? I gotta see how the storyline plays out. But honestly thought that Takeshita should have been the one to win that. I gotta check that match out to see how it went. I kind of was not feeling that result of that match. Do you think Brian Danielson should get a reign with the AEW World Title run before he stops wrestling full time? Absolutely, I do. I had actually expected for him to have already held that title by now. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened for whatever reason. Obviously, there's been some injuries there as well. But I don't know. Right now, he's injured. And he's supposed to be back in a couple of weeks for the tournament they just announced, which I think is a little too premature. He just already just came back from an injury when he broke his arm in the match with Okada, and now he just broke his orbital bone. He had the surgery, I want to say, a week ago, and I just don't understand what's the rush when putting him out there. I think they're overexposing him. That's for one thing. You've seen all the opponents that he's had these past few weeks or so. He's been having banger after banger, but moving forward, I just don't think that they need to rush with Brian Danielson. And I know why they're doing it, because this is supposedly his last year as a full-time wrestler. And they keep saying it this way, as a full-time wrestler, because they want you to know that there's a possibility that he'll return part-time. And that's cool too. But I think he's done a little bit too much. I want to see the title on him, but if they're moving with him too quick with too many really big opponents, I don't know if that's going to work out long term. So he's going to be back for that tournament that's going to start, I think, in another week or two. I don't even really see why they're rushing it. I don't know. So, what are your thoughts on Triple H trying to revive the women's division? They're talking about bringing Julia to join Io, Kari, and Asuka, as they found out. I mean, um, I wouldn't be surprised if she went straight up to the main roster. I think she's talented enough to do so. Joining that group though, I'm not sure. They can have her slowly get into that group. But I don't want them to rush things with her either. I do feel like when it comes to both AEW and WWE, there's something that they can do more when it comes to the women's division. I think Triple H is off to the right start with it, but we got to see how that ends up ending out. And when it comes to AEW, don't even ask me about that, because I just don't know where to even begin in terms of what they're doing wrong with that. They have a lot of work to do when it comes to fixing the women's division. And I found it so surprising that they had signed Mariah. Like, why y'all signing her and y'all not even fixing what you already have? I think that was a little premature too. Oh, you said it's a good show. Shinsuke? Oh, really? Zack Ryder showed up as well. I gotta check this out. Okay, what did Shinsuke show up for? What did was obviously probably not in the match, right? Marcus says if Warner Brothers wanted WWE, that would force TK to work with WWE because Triple H said he's open to do business with everyone. What dream matches you would like to see if a real Forbidden Door happened? Um, that's interesting. I mean, honestly, I was under the impression that Triple H would not want to work with AEW at any capacity. You guys already seen the whole thing with NXT going to CW, and with that deal already being made, it doesn't look likely about was Ring of Honor being over there. So I'm not sure, but if there were to be a Forbidden Door, wow, and that's crazy that you're asking me that because now CM Punk is not even on there. I would have loved to see CM Punk go against with somebody in WWE. Um, I would love to see Moxley either in the ring with Seth or Roman. That would be a really cool thing. I really love those three. Those are three of my favorites right now in wrestling. Um, what's another one? I was gonna say maybe like to see Tony Storm with Rhea Ripley. That's another one I would love to see for sure. Mm, who else? Who else? Honestly, I don't even really see this happening though. I think maybe AEW would be more wanting to do that before WWE would actually want to do that. But those are some of the ones that I would already would like to see in terms of there being a Forbidden Door. Oh, MJF, Seth Rollins, that would be a really interesting one too. Yeah. MJF versus a lot of people in WWE I would like to see, which is another reason why a lot of people are tuning into the whole bidding war of 2024. I don't think he's going anywhere. I really don't. I really feel like if he were to go to WWE, he would be watered down a lot. Everything that you love and know about MJF, it won't be the same. I think we'll see some really good stuff with him. He's almost damn near perfect on the mic, but there'll be a lot of adjusting to do, and we won't see the authentic MJF that we know and love. So I don't know if that would even be a right thing for him to go to WWE. But if he went over there, I'll definitely be tuning in a lot more. Would you live stream every week just to give a bigger insight on your takes? I don't mind doing that. This is like my second time doing it because I did go live yesterday for Collision. I did say yesterday that I would go live for Full Gear. So that's going to be interesting. As long as I am comfortable with it, and actually, I'm not really, shy or anything. At first, I was like, "Holy shit, this is so nerve wracking," to do a live stream or whatnot. But actually, I don't, I don't really see what the issue was. Why I was nervous about it to begin with. I did say that I was going to be on a live stream on Tuesday for a podcast. It's an all male panel, but I'll be the only girl on there. This guy have hundreds of people watching when he go live, so that one I'm a little bit nervous because that's a lot of people, and usually I don't know if anybody that are subscribed to my channel is going to be on there, but I'm going to post a link so you guys can go ahead and check that out. That's going to be on Tuesday, I believe, at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So you guys can be in the chat too, and put your comments and show some love while I'm over there. A friend of his retired. That was the reason why Ryder is DDT world champion. Oh, got it. Okay. I'm gonna definitely have to keep up with DDT wrestling. What three matches would you like to see WWE, AEW, Forbidden Door type pick? Hardly likely to ever happen though. Yeah, I said a couple of those that I wanted to see. I'm trying to think of who else. I did see in the comments MJF versus Seth Rollins. That's another good one too. I would like to see MJF with a lot of people on there. I really think that both women's division could benefit with having some type of cross promotion stuff. So we get a chance to see the best out of the ladies and both promotions. So that would be great. So I did say like Tony Storm and Rhea Ripley is one that I would absolutely love to see. And Samoa Joe is someone that I got to think of who I would like to see him with. Obviously, we've already seen Joe over there, but with how Joe has been this past, I want to say like 2 years now, he's definitely has improved. There's just something about him. Like he's so cool. I love Samoa Joe. Like the way he just walk around with his head up high. He is just everything to me. Like he's so cool. I love Samoa Joe. You said no, that's Vince who wouldn't do business with AEW. Triple A said he's opened to business with everyone. Okay, well if he said everyone, I hope he really meant everyone. I don't know if we would see um I don't know if that would be a good thing for AEW right now. I still feel like they really need to focus on building their stars and having better storylines. Once we get that, once he starts taking care of what needs to be taken care of in AEW, then I wouldn't mind seeing them going off and doing other things with other promotions. They've already established that relationship with New Japan, so that's fine. They obviously have a working relationship with AAA as well, CMLL. So that's okay. But in terms of WWE, like the big leagues, I think they need a little bit more time to get their shit together where they at before they make that jump with anything with WWE. Thunder Rosa, Jamie Hayter, Serena. Okay, Thunder Rosa, she does Spanish commentary. Jamie's still injured. Serena, I'm not really sure. I know she was injured, but that was a long time ago, though. I think so. I'm not 100% about Serena, though. Thunder Rosa is probably still injured, which is why she's just doing the commentary thing. So that's probably why we haven't seen her in the ring. I know she's definitely have had some issues with some of the girls and some of these stories that we've been hearing. But I would definitely love to see her back in the ring. That cage match that she had with Britt Baker was just something else. Oh, a MJF LA Knight promo battle. That would be classic. Yeah, I can see that. I would love to see Bailey versus Chris Statlander. That's another good one too. That's a good one. I would like to see that. I have a question. I am starting a podcast. Would you mind joining for an AEW recap? Absolutely. Send me the info. Send me the info, definitely. Oh, Joe versus Reigns. That would be another really good one. Man, I don't see either one of these two guys being like, I'm gonna do the job, you know? Um, man, that's a really good one. Man, I really love both of these guys. Personally, I'm not necessarily ready to see Roman lose the titles yet. I know the Bloodline storyline. I don't even know where it's going at this point. It has gotten stale to me. After SummerSlam, I was like, all right, where are we going with this? But man, Joe and Reigns, that would be a killer. I would love to see that. You know, another thing that I wanted to do because like I feel like seeing other women doing what I do is so rare. I would love to have like a all women's female, panel talking about wrestling and stuff like that. But I just feel like finding other ladies who love wrestling that wouldn't mind doing something like this. It seems like more on the rare side. So I always look out for other women who are talking about wrestling. Maybe they might want to join me doing something like that. I know with most of my audience being men, they would love to see something like that. Samoa Joe versus Gunther is another one. If Samoa Joe and Gunther had a match, I would definitely put Gunther over for sure, for sure. Oh, Athena and Tony Storm versus Bianca and Jade. That's an interesting one too. I don't know if you guys heard about Athena and Billy Starks gonna be, was it Wrestling Revolver? I think it was. They're going to be teaming up and going against Marina Shafir and Ronda Rousey. That's in a few weeks from now. That's going to be another interesting matchup too. But I would like to see. I would like to see a feud with Jade and Bianca. But I would also like to see them work together in a tag team too. So that would be great. Yeah, Tony Storm and Athena, that's actually a really great team. I know AEW doesn't necessarily, so AEW, they do put like girls together like as like friends or like a group or whatever. But they don't do like tag team. They don't have like a tag team thing when it comes to the women. So that would be interesting to see, unlike WWE that have tag team titles for the ladies. Oh, what about Athena and Mercedes versus Bianca and Jade Cargill, or Charlotte and Britt? Okay, I would like to see Charlotte versus Britt. That would be another good one. Um, Athena and Mercedes just never seem to have gotten along. I would love to see a storyline with them actually getting along. If they were going to go against Bianca and Jade, that would be very interesting to see these two. They just had a match. Was it like a week ago for the women's title? And I felt like it was so premature. I was hoping that they was going to have them go against each other at final battles, because that's what happened last year. Mercedes had the title, Athena won it, and it would have been great to see these two girls go at it at the pay per view a whole year later. But I think they dropped the ball on that. But it was still a pretty great match, though. Oh my God, Warlow versus Breaker. Okay, hell yeah. Matter of fact, don't ever be surprised if one day y'all just see Wardlow showing up in WWE. Like, he's one of those people that I really feel like he's gonna be like, the hell with this shit in AEW. I'm out of here. I totally see Wardlow being the type to do that, because I do feel like he deserved better. Absolutely. The way that they've been moving with pretty much anybody that touched that TNT title, like it's like a curse or something. Like, you don't even want the TNT title at this point. Oh, Mello and Swerve, that would be a great one too. Man, Swerve have really proved himself lately. Like, I've been telling people about Swerve for the longest, but I think a lot of people are finally starting to see what I've been seeing in Swerve. And Swerve have the potential to being probably the biggest heel in professional wrestling. Like, if they really use this guy right, like he could be hated probably more than MJF when he was heel. Like, they really got to push this guy the right way, and I would love to see that AEW title on his waist for sure. Yeah, all women panel would be really really cool. I'm on the lookout for some girls, see if they would be down to do something like that. But I'm not gonna lie, like I would prefer to have a panel with girls that watch multiple promotions, because what I see a lot is I only watch WWE. Personally, I don't. I would prefer to talk to people that watch more stuff. But if they want to talk about WWE only, that's cool. But with a panel, definitely want to have a discussion with other women that are more knowledgeable with pro wrestling all around. Shield versus Elite. That would be interesting. Okay. Which company do you think will Osprey? Oh my God. So the biasness in me wants him to be in AEW, because we've actually seen that working relationship, and we've seen some really amazing matches with Will Osprey with AEW. But I'm also really curious about WWE, because that's just another door that hasn't been open, and you want to see some new stuff. So I mean, I would really like to see him at both. So here's what I like about AEW that WWE does not do. They allow their roster to be at other places. And WWE does not do that. Once you're signed, you sign. It's super rare. I think the last time we got a chance to see them allowing someone to, have an opportunity at another promotion, um, was it Shinsuke? I think Shinsuke or Carl Anderson was another one too, a couple of months back. That was the last time. But other than that, but that was because he had to, relinquish that title. So he had to give that title up. So there was nothing else he can do. And Shinsuke obviously turned out to be a situation where they was going to have the Great Muta being inducted anyway. So I could see why, but they had their reasons behind that. Um, but as much as I love Will and I would love to see him in AEW, I think it will be much fresh to see him in WWE. We'll just get completely a new slate and see him in totally different situations. I think I would enjoy to see that more. Oh, Hikaru Shida is another one. She could probably go with pretty much anybody in terms of the women's division in WWE. I would love to see her. She works really, really well. The only issue I have with her is, well, not her in particular. The AEW don't really, oh man, they don't really put her in a situation for like storyline. She comes out and she is I don't know. There's something a little bit missing about her. I do think she has a great personality, but we don't get a chance to see her shine in terms of her personality. But every time she gets in the ring, she's damn near flawless. So anybody with Sheeta at WWE would be amazing. Wardlow would be great in WWE if they set it up right. I think Wardlow would be a great fit. I don't know where they're going with him. Right now, he is looking to get the Triple B, pretty much looking to get revenge on MJF. So I'm cool with that storyline, but I don't see him winning because, especially with him having the TNT title, they didn't even know what to do with him. So what would you do with him if he had the Triple B? Like it won't make sense for him to win it if you're not gonna do what you should do with him. If Thunder Rosa can't go, yeah, Sheeta and Kyrie would be the matchup. Yeah, absolutely. Swerve has a crossover mainstream appeal about him for real. He does. Bailey and Jamie Hayter is another one. I love Jamie. For a while, Jamie was pretty much a shadow to Britt Baker. I'm sorry to say it, but that's just how it was. And I really felt like I saw something a little bit more special from Jamie in terms of her in-ring work. I was really glad when she won the title. It was a shame that she got injured and had to give it up. But she stuck around, have that last match with Tony Storm, and Tony got the title. And she's been gone ever since. It would have been cool to see her at All In too. I wouldn't have been surprised if Jamie went against Saraya at All In if they would have did that. Obviously having the two girls being from the UK go at it, that would have been a cool matchup to see. Usos versus FTR. That's another good one. Kevin Owens and Sammy versus the Young Bucks. Yeah, that I could see happening too. It seems more and more likely he's going to sign with WWE, especially if they don't build a company around Osprey. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Dragon Lee with AAA. Oh, I'll get you up with Peaches and Powerbomb. They know about different promotions. I'll reach out to them about you. No problem. I actually am subscribed to them. Yeah, that would be a great fit too. Yeah, let me know about that. It was both Carl Anderson and Shinsuke was given permission. Right, because Carl was gonna have to drop the title anyway. Um and Shinsuke, yeah, obviously for the Great Muda and all that stuff. So yeah, I totally see why. It seems like Osprey is going to WWE. He's teasing a match with Rollins, and I would love to see him. Oh, and AJ Styles. Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, I think when you really think of all the possibilities, it would be great for Osprey to be in WWE. I think that would work out better. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, he already has a relationship with AEW, but I want to see something new. So I wouldn't mind seeing him over at WWE. And Thunder Rosa has been praising Jade Cargill in WWE. She's interested in going over too. Thunder Rosa's interested in going to WWE. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing, like I said, if they do some kind of a crossover thing, that would be cool. But both of these companies, there will be an issue with them trying to figure out, well, who's going over, who's not. It will be a big issue, like huge egos being in the room. It would like be so difficult for them to come down to the conclusion as to how they would do some type of forbidden door situation. But it really would be interesting to see them come together and doing something like that. But I think first things first, they really need to focus on their current roster and how to just make things better. I don't know if y'all saw, but these even the collision numbers are going down in ratings. It's like, damn, the whole Saturday night thing. I don't see why they chose Saturday night. I don't know. I don't think it's a good thing in terms of rating, in terms of there being other sports going on. Like you can't really compete with football. You can't really compete with I don't know, whatever else is going on out there. I don't know anything about sports, but it's hard for wrestling to compete with those things. Um I heard Brian Alvarez trying to make excuses in terms of those long numbers and stuff, and it's just like I understand it's a Saturday night. It's hard, but y'all chose it. Y'all chose to put this show on Saturday. Personally, me, I got nothing going on, so I'll watch. But other people, they're going to look at other things that's going on and choose those things over watching pro wrestling. All you gotta do is put on DVR and come back to it another time. Everybody want to watch the football game live, so it's not a good night for them to have their show on Saturday. Yeah, that would be the biggest problem on how many massive egos both companies have. Absolutely. I could see them possibly coming together and being in the same room to just put some things down on a table. But in terms of them actually coming up with something, they might not even be able to come up with anything. I would not be surprised. Do you see Bailey getting attacked after war games? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Bailey's been a little bit annoying, but um she's still been useful to EO. So I don't know. I can see them, getting her out of there for sure. If this was the 90s, things would be different today. Good luck competing with other great monsters, with the greatest monsters in all of sports. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I thought that they probably would be cool to do Collision on Thursday, but they're not going to want to do that because Dynamite is almost always live. They're not going to want to go from one city live to the next city live again. So I mean, honestly, to have your shows back to back like that, I don't think it's a great idea. But they're not going to want to um, pretty much let go of Rampage altogether, which I think they should do. And then put Collision on a Friday night. They cannot compete with SmackDown. Absolutely not. So, Tuesday, obviously they can't do that. You guys saw what happened in Tuesday Night Wars a couple of weeks ago. So I don't really know what they can do. And obviously Sunday night is not a good night. So yeah, I think Saturday probably was pretty much their best options in terms of all the other wrestling that's going on. But Thursday, they just wasn't going to be able to do that because two live shows back to back like that, they couldn't do it. Yeah, I love her elbow too. She's great. I love her. Bailey had a bit of a smirk when Io and Kyrie hugged her. Oh yeah, I did see that too. I wonder where they are going with the storyline though. But it's definitely interesting. That they're trying to do something with the women. That's what I like. They need really great stories to be told to make these women's matches interesting. That's why I did not like the women's matches on Crown Jewel. The audience just didn't care. They didn't really seem to care. And you guys know because they're in Saudi Arabia, they're not as interested as what the women are doing. It's even surprising that there are even women matches on their shows. I think they've made some progression in terms of women in general in society. However, I just feel like they just didn't really show that they cared. And WWE could have probably just kind of scrapped those matches because what's the point? What's the point of having your girls go out there and the audience just kind of feel nothing towards it? I didn't like that. Oh, just saw the trailer to Iron Claw. It looks great. Yeah, I saw it too. I'm very interested to see how that movie goes. I love the Von Erichs. They were way before my time, but I just sit there and look at pictures of them because they were beautiful men. Very talented too. The issue with that is what Kevin Von Erich's son confirmed that Kevin, the only surviving Von Erich, was not part of that the script or anything about that movie. I did see some pictures because they had the premiere over this weekend, and Kevin Von Erich was there, but he had nothing to do with in terms of them putting the movie together. So that right there makes me a little bit nervous because I want them to keep things as true as possible. And if Kevin wasn't involved, which I think is a big mistake, he's the only one left. I could have used him for that movie. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I am excited to see. I'm definitely going to the movie theaters the day it comes out and going to go see it. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. And I'm going to catch all the inconsistencies, so that's what I'm looking for. Um, so yeah, I am looking forward to that movie. What also hurts AEW is because they go to the same city too close together. It wears out the novelty of the shows and needs to travel more in areas instead of just New York and Chicago. Okay, I feel you on that. They're in Chicago a lot, but they know that Chicago is a great place for pro wrestling. Everybody knows that. All the other promotion knows that. So, if anything, Chicago, they have all the best shows throughout the year. New York too is another one too. But AEW goes there probably more to New York than any other city throughout the year. Um, so yeah, they should definitely be able to move across the whole map and be able to get to more and more cities. There's so many people who's always asking, come to this city, come to that city, but they keep going to the same ones. So they definitely got to work on that. It seems like the Hugger is coming back with Io, Asuka, and Kyrie and Dakota being the new damage control. That's what I see it. I see what you mean on that. And Asuka looked like a proud mother to Io and Kyrie hugging them in the main event. Do I have an IG? Yeah, I have an Instagram. It's Wrestle Tati. So type that in and you'll find me. Isn't one not a Von Erich like his friends? With one of them. I believe that was Lance Von Erich. One of them was not an actual brother. That was that they brought in to be part of the group. That's the one that MJF is going to be playing in the movie. So MJF will be in that movie playing that Von Erich. Kevin not being involved isn't good. A lot of people was close to the Von Erich, so it may be on point. Right. So it's really hard to tell at this point how it's going to go. I have not been able to look to see who was involved with putting this movie together. If they were able to get like some legends or things like that, people who knew the Von Erichs to be part of this movie. Actually, the best person that they could have used with helping with this movie is Kevin. No doubt about it. Other people knew them, but Kevin was there the whole way with his family. So that was the best person that they could have put on there. So I think that probably would be a big mistake, but we'll see how the movie comes out. I'm interested to see what Kevin thinks of the movie as well. Right. Yeah. So Harry says it was Lance. Lance was a fake cousin and he did start out a brother. Yeah. Do you think this Bailey storyline could lead to Bailey bringing back Mercedes in the future? Because I see Mercedes signing to AEW. Actually, I kind of see her signing to AEW. I don't really see her going back to WWE. I don't know if that would be the best decision for her. Um, but like I said, the same thing with Will Osprey. I would love to see Mercedes in a totally different environment, something that we have not seen. So I think she would be great with AEW. Can't they use Magnum TA? Um, for the movie you're talking about, I'm not sure. Mercedes has friends. Triple H is in charge. and her husband is there. Um, I'm not sure. I think I would love to see her in AEW for a bit. Even if it's not long term, see what how she does there. Like I said, I'm not really big on AEW signing anybody else, but I would like to see her being part of whatever direction that they're going with the women's division in AEW. I think she could definitely help out. She's someone that I definitely would have signed. Like, no shade towards Mariah or whatever, but definitely keeping my eyes out on Mercedes is someone that I would definitely sign to try to help out with the women's division. I think it would be good for them if she would have been over there. If things didn't work out and she go back to WWE, then cool. That's all right. Yeah, Magnum TA, they could have used them. Unfortunately, a lot of legends have gone and over, to the other side. So there's not a lot of people that they could have used for this movie to really get the facts and stuff for them. But it's going to be interesting to see how things worked out. Like I said, Kevin would have been the best choice in terms of telling the story. So we'll definitely see. And yes, I will be doing a review on that as well because I got to see how this turns out. Mariah, that was a secondhand embarrassment. Poor woman. Honestly, I didn't really like that moment she had with RJ City. I don't know, something about it just felt a little bit strange, but it sounds like they're gonna probably put her in a storyline with Tony Storm. So I don't know. We'll see where that goes. And do you think Tony Khan is a hypocrite because he called Vince out for being? Oh my God. I was just watching something about this earlier. So he called out Vince for being a pervert and banned Hogan for being a racist, but he signed Sabu and Ric Flair to contracts with the same situations. Very interesting. Did you watch Dutch Mantel? Because that's what I was watching earlier when I saw something about this. Um, Does it make him look like a hypocrite? For Ric Flair, yes, because he literally just said those comments about Vince McMahon just a couple of weeks ago about the whole pervert thing. And if you're gonna talk, mess about Vince McMahon for those reasons, why sign someone else who has those same who's known for the same thing? So in a way, yeah, it does make him look like a hypocrite. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what Ric Flair can do for AEW. He's like 70 something years old. He can't go in the ring anymore. I don't see anybody like want to go out of their way to watch AEW to see Ric Flair. But I do like how they brought him out for Sting because obviously, Sting's about to retire and that's a really good friend of his. So I get it. But as in terms of, I think he signed a 2-year deal, something like that. I don't even see why. They are making Mariah's storyline into their Mickey James and Trish Stratus. Yeah, I did watch that stream, and I do think that having your subscribers here join the stream get out a lot of takes. Yeah. Yeah, so I would like to do live streams more often. But the main reason why I did this was because, like I said, on Tuesday I'm gonna be on the live stream, and I just wanted to have that experience just to get it out the way, make sure I didn't feel no nervousness. But there's nothing to be nervous about. And like if anyone else is doing something and would like me to, come on their channel, like I'm totally cool with that. You guys can hit me up. Obviously, you can't message me here on YouTube, but you can check me out on Instagram. You just type in Wrestle Tati, you'll find me there. Same thing for X if you have X, and Facebook. Just type in Wrestle Tati, you'll find me on all three of those. So if you guys want to private message me about anything, I'm totally cool with that. But you guys, I'm like really happy that this was pretty successful, and we're going on about 2 hours. And I got some things to do in the morning, and I really appreciate you guys coming out here and supporting me and coming here and asking me questions. I will be back on live for Full Gear, so if anybody wants to join that, I'll be here watching the pay-per-view. I don't know if I will do the pre-show, but obviously when the pay-per-view starts, I will definitely be there with that. Yes, Harry. Please let me know when you guys will have me on your channel. I will definitely love that. Um, are you trying to join Judgment Day with the colors of your live stream? No, but I'll tell you what. If you guys look into my closet, man, it's nothing but black and purple. Everything, almost everything that I have, like I would say like 90% of everything I own is either just black, just purple, or black and purple. So you guys already know why. I love Taker. So I always wear these colors all the time. Yeah, so I'll be back for Full Gear. I'm really hoping for a really good show as well. I'll think about doing War Games to Survivor Series. I'm kind of having high hopes on that pay-per-view, so I'll let you guys know about Survivor Series. That one I'm not 100% sure, but Full Gear for sure. I'll be back with a live stream. Oh, you said great color for you. Yeah, I always wear these colors. But yeah, you guys, I really do appreciate you guys coming on here and showing some support. Please hit the like button and join me back on what is it, Saturday or Sunday? I'm not sure, whatever day the pay-per-view is, and I'll be doing a live stream for that. So you guys, good night, and I appreciate you guys coming on here and watching my live stream. Bye.